Hello guys, welcome to our live stream. I'm with Sam, of course.
Don't move it, I'll just come and shot.
There you
Hi.
go.
That way, hi.
This is our very first stream, guys. Today, guys, I'm going once again. Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at webcam. Today, guys, once again, I'm going to be playing Paladins. Sam's is going to be in the background of the video. He's just on his laptop, which is connected to my TV. And yeah, so yeah guys, right now we're going to start Paladins. It's actually a pretty game, guys.
You saw it in the last video.
You saw it, guys, in the last video, guys. It's actually a pretty decent game, and I am a pro at it, kind of. It's an easy game to play, so yeah, let's get ready to start. Make sure the stream's already on. Yep, stream's already on, guys. Alright. Right, let's wait for the game to load. Here we go. Here we go. Starting the game. My background's now GeForce GTX.
You need the YouTube thing up in case anyone puts comments them down or something like that. So put that on the second screen.
Hang on, guys. I just need to do this real quick. There we go, guys. Alright, now it's on streaming. There we go, guys. We're loading in, I think. So yeah, we're loading in, guys. Just waiting for it to load. It is taking its time as usual. Here we go. We're now starting the game. We're starting the game. This game does take a bit to load, guys. It should be on a minute. Here we go. I think it's time to come on now, guys. Okay, here we go, guys. We're finally into the game. So let's start. Oh.
Speak up there.
The game's just clear, it's gone off. Oh, now it's back on again. But now on the blank screen. There we go. Alright, we're starting. Oh, God. Shit.
Language, boy.
Sorry, guys, you didn't hear that. Okay, guys, we're now into the game. We're going to do a quick play game. Level 2 at the moment.
Siege. Select a champion. Customize your champion. You can't intimidate me.
Maybe, probably, depends. It's like, no, I'm watching it, so people don't join and try to start early. Come on, guys, come watch.
Hello, man. Where from?
Let's get this done. The battle is about to begin.
I got hit by a falling book once. I only had the shell today.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Let's go.
1.
We don't need
And
much.
so it begins.
Let the starlight soothe you.
I'm not giving up. I got your back.
All that dies shall be reborn.
Killing spree.
A hook streak.
Much better. Rampage. Double kill. Like keep it together.
You are not welcome here!
Damn this fleshy vessel.
Did I trick you? This is my birthright! Reach for the sky!
The stars. Follow the stars.
Overtime.
I'm feeling faint. Please.
The stars spell their doom.
The payload.
Good night. Time to take charge.
Death is a transitory state. One I can bring
You are not welcome here!
Eros incoming! Killing spree. I got your back. Enemy triple kill. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, it was too reckless.
Let us sail the skies.
That's too bad.
Hey, let's fish.
Point spawning in 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Our front line
Enemy killing spree.
You are quite the warrior.
I'll get through this.
On the other page.
Enemy killing spree. Enemy killing spree.
Target locked.
Enemy rampage. Enemy rampage. Curses.
This is my birthright.
Enemy rampage. Enemy rampage. Enemy is unstoppable.
See what happens when we put our heads together.
Enemy is unstoppable.
Take charge.
An enemy is unstoppable.
you're going.
Curses.
Viewers.
Press escape second. Press an active.
Point spawning in 15 seconds.
Never mind, he just does it anyway.
Hang on, guys. We're just taking some in. Yeah, we got one viewer watching. Don't know who it is.
We
but
may as well keep it on. May as well keep it on like that.
whoever's viewing, guys. Whoever's viewing, hello.
Thank
You.
I
Don't know who you are, but
where's the where does it say the chat? There's no live chats.
whoever's viewing, guys, hello. How you doing? I just quit the game for some reason. We decided to check something if it's working or not. Hello. Right, let's get back into the game. Let's get back into the game. It should not take long now. Hopefully. Hopefully it won't take long. But hope you enjoying the live stream, whoever's watching. More.
Check on live chat. Need to move the OBS across. It's not that important, to be honest, the OBS part on it.
Oh.
No, not nothing more. That's fine.
No, that's lit. Alright, here we go. We're starting into Paladins right now. Right. Here we go. It's loading in. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. We're back into the game. Play a game.
Onslaught. Choose your champion. Customize your champion. Victor.
Ja, du. Lass mich doch.
Ich glaube, ich bin gerade.
Oh, ich kann Copacabana spielen, wenn es beginnt.
You can't intimidate me.
Desktop mode, but right, let's start the bell. Let's start the game. Let's start the game.
The strength of the team is each member. And the strength of each member is the team. Prepare for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle has begun. First blood.
You've earned the predatory line.
Watching the stream, guys. Yeah, I'm doing good.
my friends.
Mirage incoming! We need to hold this point!
Their course is set.
Well done!
Target locked.
I will pass judgment.
I'm not. Hit.
Victory!
Win, boys.
That's far enough.
We should do like what do you call it? Twitch as well.
Oh well, you
Well, we should have done that. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well.
Siege. Select your champion. Customize your champion.
Des écouteurs dans les autres.
Match error.
Team Deathmatch. Choose your champion. Customize your champion. Victor.
That's good with that.
You can't intimidate me.
There we go. Right. Here we go, guys. Winners. Guys, I mean, guy. There's
Person.
Person. There's only one person. One.
You just put in the comments if you want.
You can comment in 5 days or like that. Feel free. Comment.
The strength of the team is each
30 seconds
member.
remaining.
The strength of each
15
member.
seconds remaining.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle has begun. The battle is about to begin. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill.
Freeze, jerk! Have you met my friends?
The spirits do not rest.
I will pass judgment.
Freeze, jerk!
Incinerate them!
Victory.
Okay. If you stand against me, you stand with the abyss.
Freeze, jerk!
Here we go.
Team Deathmatch. Select a champion. Customize your champion.
You know it now, though. Is it a washing machine?
Here's Sammy's just
Guys, Jay is streaming right now live on our EmsterkingYT account. We have 1 viewer right now.
Yep, 1 viewer.
You can't intimidate me.
He's live. Talk to us.
Here we go, we're starting the new game.
Let's get this 30 done. Seconds remaining. 15 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so it begins. Prepare for battle. Drawn first blood.
Thank you, healer. I'm in your debt.
Double kill. Enemy double kill. Enemy killing spree. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple.
Show them no mercy.
Have you met my friends?
The stars spell their form.
I will pass judgment.
Isn't over yet.
show them no mercy.
Defeat.
For 40 minutes, Joe.
Right.
Oh, what a goal. Oh, Jay, watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Siege. Select your champion. Customize your champion. Victor. You can't intimidate me.
A bit. It's actually good. Actually really good.
Any comments?
Nope.
Hopefully that's
No, we still got two because I've just gone on.
brilliant.
After I've done this match, me and Sam are going to be reacting to Llama Art's
The strength of the team is each member.
It's actually not even scary.
The strength of each member is the team.
If whoever's watching, stay watching for that.
It appears you need some help.
So we'll do this match and then we'll start. Back to start now. Alright mate, whoever's watching, we're now doing the Llama Arts compilation. I'm going to open a new tab, the Google Chrome. Alright, Llama Arts time. Llama Arts, if I can spell it right. And Sam's going to be in this one, in this one as well. We're probably going to only watch like about 2 or 3 videos of this, or 4 videos.
You can do as many as more, really.
We'll probably be like doing about 5. We'll do 5 videos. So try and find like a playlist, so we'll keep on just playing
brilliant.
as a playlist. Let's go to
Also, guys, honestly, just subscribe.
We're going to go to Mr. Nightmare Animations. I found a playlist. I'm going to skip for the ones that we already watched in some videos, because we want to do like new ones. So we're going to go to this one, Vacation.
Bahamas, when I was...
Yeah, I haven't watched this one. We're going to watch this one, guys.
I have a mind. I've read to it online.
Oh well, we'll just do this one anyway. Sam, you could come in. Sam's gonna come in now. If you just go there somewhere on my PC here, so we can both
I'm gonna
be
leave the
in
match
the...
anyway.
So Sam, you go there.
Leave the match. Check that.
Oh god. There we go. Awesome.
You miss having me in there, don't you?
Huh?
Everyone misses having me here.
Yes.
What we need to do, keep the stream running for us on here. Yeah, keep the stream running for us on here.
I'm just gonna try and get me in some of it in the ring. There you go. Sam's in. So, oh, now people can't see me.
There we go.
There we
Put
go.
your thing in again. We'll keep the stream going for us. For
And
your phone. We'll keep the stream going there. Do that so we know if it's lagging or not. Next to the...
we're just getting the stream on the phone so we can check that it's running smoothly. So I'm going to check that while we're watching this. If whoever the person's watching, just try and message us when we know what your name is, mate. We don't know who you are. I'm probably coming with 2 now because we're just watching on 9. So whoever's watching, please. Subscribe and like.
We're the only one watching apparently.
Oh, okay. I think that guy's left.
He must have got bored.
Hmm.
Anyone got a live chat? No.
Right, let's watch this then, guys. At Halloween, scary vacation with those 2.
I was vacationing in the Bahamas when I was 14 with some family friends. My friend and I were getting some henna tattoos at the hotel, and there was this guy lingering around us. But we didn't think much of it because a lot of people would stop to see what was going on. After mine was done, I told my friend and her mom I was going to go back to the room to get ready for dinner. There were 2 ways to the other side of the hotel, either inside through a bunch of small stores or outside along the pool. I walked through the inside and got to the elevator, where I saw the guy who had been watching us already at the elevator. We got on together, and he gestured for me to choose my floor button first. I clicked it, but he didn't choose another floor. Alarms start going off in my head. But what could I do? I was stuck in an elevator. The elevator stopped on my floor, and I started walking to my room. In this hotel, most of the rooms faced the ocean, so to the right in this hallway were just windows. I was in the very last room on that floor, and I could see the guy following me about 10 feet behind. About 2 doors from my room, he ran up and grabbed me. I kicked and screamed, and he dropped onto the floor. I ran to the room and locked myself in. After talking with security and giving a description, they found the guy and found out that he had actually been following multiple younger women in the building.
That's the first one done. Let's go and do the second one. No adverts. Oh, I think we've watched this one, Disturbing Snapchat Stories. We'll watch it again.
Yeah.
This happened a week ago. Up until a few days ago, I went to a small, local gym in my now previous New Jersey town called Black Bear Fitness. One day, I had the misfortune of running into some skinny, awkward, yet creepy-looking kid, probably 18 years old. He didn't look like he belonged in a gym at all. I had headphones in and I was doing my set when I heard him saying something to me, but it was muffled by the music. I was already annoyed with this kid, given that he was breaking an unwritten rule of the gym. Don't try to talk to somebody when they're doing their sets. I took my time finishing my set, and then took my headphones out to ask if he needed something. Then he started acting like I looked familiar, but right away I knew this kid was just trying some pathetic attempt at making friends. I assured him I didn't, but the kid wouldn't stop talking to me. I'll skip most of the conversation, but eventually he actually asked me for my Instagram and Snapchat, weirdly enough, and for whatever reason I gave them to him. Instead of just saying something like, "Buddy, I'm trying to work out," or "I don't have social media." After I gave him my Snapchat and Instagram, however, I did kind of urge him to let me resume my workout. He finally seemed to get the message and walked away. Not without saying bye like 3 times though. That night I got a snap on my phone saying "from Sean." I immediately sighed and said, oh no, just wondering why the hell the kid would snap me. I opened the snap, and the kid was in a creepy, weird pose, face way too close to the camera, with his head resting in his hand and a half smile on his face. The text over the picture was "Hey" with 2 Y's. I muttered the words, what the fuck? For the record, I'm a guy, which made this even more weird. My thought process was, I've had enough of this loser already. I'm gonna remove him and make it clear I don't want to talk if I see him at the gym again. And so I did. I removed him minutes after he sent that snap. I'm sure not even a minute later, again a message popped up on my phone, saying Snapchat from Sean. I waited a few minutes before opening it. This one was even creepier. Now the kid was sitting up on his bed, no smile, more of a surprised, angry expression. The text over the image said, "Why did you remove me?" Now I went as far as to block him, meaning he couldn't snap me anymore. And that was that. I threw my phone on the desk and sighed out of relief. Half an hour later, my phone goes off, saying Sean added you as a friend, and then Snapchat from Sean. He actually made a new account. I opened the snap and felt my heart drop. It was a picture of my front lawn. The text over it, "Answer me, bitch." The first thing I could think of was, how did he find my address? Then I realized, Snapchat made that new map feature that lets you see where your friends are. Somehow I had the balls to open the window to see outside. It was clear out there. I shut the window and the blinds and started considering calling 911.
Yeah.
It was the sound of taps on the window. I took a deep breath, and with one swift motion, I pulled up the blind and the window at the same time and pulled the kid into my room by his neck. I punched him in the face a few times before he was out cold. Now I called 911. By the time they arrived, he was awake, cursing me out, promising he'd be back and kill me. The cops heard it all. I didn't even have to make a case. The kid was an idiot. Luckily, the timing of this worked out well, because I just moved a couple days ago out of state. Only thing that worries me, I don't want to have to make a new Snapchat account, but anytime somebody new adds me on the app, I'll never know if it's secretly that Sean kid again.
High over a tiny bit. High to
In the year 2009, I was spending a weekend with my uncle on his ranch when my parents were renovating the new house we had just bought. It was my second night there, a Saturday, and it happened to be during one of the biggest thunderstorms of the year. I'd say there were at least 3 crashes of thunder and lightning per minute. And we were in the heart of the storm, because the thunder would crash not even a second after the lightning would. I always enjoyed listening to storms while laying in bed, so I stayed up a little later watching TV, just enjoying the ambiance. After the movie I was watching finally ended, I turned off the TV and tried to fall asleep. As I heard the lightning strike from outside, I could have sworn I heard some kind of metallic thud coming from outside at the same time. I didn't pay it too much mind. 20 seconds later, I could have sworn I heard it again. A very distinct metallic thud coming from outside to match the timing of the lightning. I really don't mean to make this sound like a cliche horror story, but my uncle really is a kind of creepy guy, and I was never close with him even remotely. So for that reason, I didn't feel right going to wake him up. I just tried to forget about it. Now I was getting concerned. What the hell could that be? After the 3rd time, I finally got out of bed and walked over to the window of the guest bedroom. The water pouring down on the window made it extra hard to see what was out there in the dark fields. A flash of lightning momentarily lit up the property, but I couldn't see anything. However, once again, the sound of a metal hit accompanied it. The sound was so close now, it sounded like it was coming from the left of the window at a blind spot. I was going to do something I knew my uncle wouldn't be happy about. It would be a bit messy, but I was going to open the window and peer outside to see if I could see what the sound was. I unhooked the window lock and slid it up, and immediately the wind of the storm blew drops of rain into the room and onto me. I stuck my head out the window and looked to the left, and at that very moment, lightning lit up the property once again, and I could see a person dressed in all black crouched down by the outside basement door with his hand raised in the air. And before the sky went dark, I caught the briefest glimpse of what the sound was coming from. The person was bashing at the basement door lock. I pulled my head in and quietly shut the window, making sure to lock it. I was in a panic. I feared he might have seen or heard me. I ran back to bed and pretended to be asleep, facing away from the window. Lightning crashed once again, but this time there was no metallic thud. My heart must have dropped as I realized this. I just stayed put in bed for the longest time, hoping whoever was out there would go away. After maybe 3 more lightning crashes without any thuds accompanying them, I thought it would be safe to go tell my uncle. I turned to face the window and screamed. There was a figure, clear as day, standing at the window, looking in at me. I screamed as loud as I could and ran straight to my uncle's room. He went outside with his hunting rifle with nothing on but his pajamas, not even socks. He ran around the entire property yelling like a madman, but didn't find anyone. The next morning, we were able to better see the marks on the basement door lock. It was almost bashed open. Maybe 3 or 4 more good hits would have done it, according to my uncle. He was proud of me for picking up on it. Luckily, I was out of there that same day. My uncle hasn't told us of any incidents since, so I think he's been okay. Not that we talk to him much at all. I'm grateful I stayed up a little later that night watching that movie, because I may have just stopped a robbery, or possibly much worse. A couple weeks ago, my dad came home and pitched me a small job offer. One of his coworkers was going away for a few days and needed somebody he could trust to watch over his house. The reason my dad pitched this to me was because the man's house has a big CCTV system, basically a camera in every room, and then an operating desk where all screens could be watched on a big monitor. And I'm a computer science major, so my dad just always assumes that I know how to work anything technological. The man told my dad that he'd pay me $200 for the 2 days just to watch the house. Whatever that meant. My dad drove me to the house and introduced me to the man, whose name doesn't matter. The man made it seem like he preferred I stay in the upstairs room with the monitors as opposed to roaming the house all day. That was fine with me though. So when I wasn't eating, I was mostly just sitting in that room with the TV on in the background, and doing schoolwork on my laptop. Ironically, the thing I was doing the least was keeping an eye on the monitors. Night came. I started wondering where in the house I should sleep, since surprisingly, we hadn't discussed that. So I sat back down at the desk and looked at all the different rooms on the screens to see which rooms had beds or couches. I noticed something I wasn't expecting to notice though. The back screen door was open downstairs. I didn't remember it being open. I looked through each and every camera screen in a panic. In the living room, a closet door was open. This one I knew wasn't open earlier. I texted my dad to call the man and ask him if he came back home. Meanwhile, I continued watching the screen. On the grainy, dark image, a tall person who resembled only a black shadow on the screen stepped out from the closet. I pulled my arms off the desk as I covered my mouth with my hands in shock. As I did this, however, my left elbow pulled some heavy object from the desk onto the floor, creating a big thud. The person in the image very clearly moved their head up to the ceiling as a response to the noise. They went for the stairs, walking up very, very slowly, step by step. Meanwhile, I got a text back from my dad saying, "No, he's not. I just spoke to him half an hour ago. Why?" I got so caught up in my phone texting my dad to send help that I didn't even pay attention to the monitor. There was a knock at the door. I looked at it and then the screens. The first screen I laid my eyes on was the one showing the person outside the door to the room I was in. When I remembered that door had no lock, the only thing I could think to do was jump out the window into the bushes below. I ran halfway down the block and then stopped when my dad called me. I had him call his friend and ask him if he was expecting somebody in the house. The man said he had no relatives or friends who had his key or would ever let themselves into his home. So he called the cops and had them review the footage. I got to watch all of it, and it showed everything. From the moment the intruder broke the glass to the backyard door, to the moment I jumped out the window and him running away shortly after. The intruder was never found. The footage was just too dark to identify his face.
I think it's obvious. Keep your lights on.
We'll go watch one more, guys.
Three months after I turned 16 in 2005, I got my first car, a '99 Toyota Camry. On a warm Saturday night, when my friend Alex invited me over to one of his friend's big parties, I knew I wouldn't be in a condition to drive the Camry home afterward. So we carpooled with Alex's girlfriend Brianna. We lived in the countryside of Virginia, meaning less big parties. Meaning when there was a big party, it was a huge deal and everyone would go. We lived about 5 to 10 minutes away from this kid's house. I knew where he lived as I was acquainted with him, but not exactly friends. The whole ride there, we took the same 2-lane highway type road through the woods, and this kid's house was actually on this road further down. At certain points on this road, there were a few houses on either side, and then it would just go back to being a long, empty highway again. The house was tiny, like a lot of houses around the area, but the party was held outside anyways, since his closest neighbors were relatively far away, and noise wasn't an issue. I'll skip most of the party up until the point that Brianna, who was supposed to be our designated driver, had to suddenly leave for a small family emergency. Alex said it was fine and that we'd find a ride home. Well, fast forward another few hours and another few drinks, and I could barely even walk straight. I checked my watch, and it was like 2 in the morning. I figured it was time to go. I started looking for Alex, but I couldn't find him anywhere. In fact, it seemed like everybody I knew had already left. I could barely even think straight, but I was still furious at the fact that Alex could have actually left without me. I asked to use the party host's phone and dialed Alex's home number. After 2 tries, I gave up and then realized I shouldn't wake his family up. So, literally not knowing what else to do, I dizzily stepped out onto the road and began walking back home. I knew this walk would take anywhere from half an hour to an hour in my condition. Maybe after 15 minutes of walking down the road, the slight shine of car headlights on the road was fading in from behind me. Jumping for joy inside, I lifted up my arm and stuck out my thumb. As the car neared, it slowed down and came to a stop right next to me. The man driving the '98 Ford Explorer rolled down the window and asked where you headed. I told him my house was just down the road and beyond a right turn, probably slurring my words beyond comprehension. He chuckled and told me to hop in. I thanked him and joyously hopped into the truck. I was exhausted, and I remember completely disregarding things the guy was asking me because I was so close to just passing out. And that's what happened. The memories of being in that truck turned to a fog as I'm sure I passed out. The next thing I remember, I woke up still in the moving truck. The guy looked at me and laughed, but didn't say anything. I looked around and realized the road we were on wasn't familiar. I nervously asked, where are we going? He then said, so what were you doing out this late anyway? As the man answered my very straightforward question with another irrelevant question, the sobering reality of the situation hit me. You can let me out anywhere, I told the man. The man responded with a firm no. I felt like throwing up as he said that. No, I really actually felt like I was going to throw up. I started to gag as I felt more and more nauseous by the second. The man took his eyes off the road to look at me, and that's when I thought of the perfect distraction. I turned in his direction as I continued to gag, and he started to kind of lean away and slow down the car. Thankfully, I drank as much as I did because I finally threw up and made a point of doing it all over the man's lap. The man yelled in frustration and stopped the car, and that's when I took it upon myself to run for my life into the woods and duck behind a few bushes. The man came following into the woods with a flashlight, and on 2 separate occasions, he shined the light straight over me without noticing. Eventually, I heard his footsteps walk even further into the woods past me. That was when I ran back to his truck, but unfortunately, he was smart enough to lock it. By some miracle, I saw another car approaching in the distance, and I ran out into the middle of the street, waving my arms like a lunatic. The car tried to avoid me, but I wouldn't let it. They were forced to stop, and I yelled at them to help me before they came back. Once I told them that I was kidnapped by the man who was driving that Ford Explorer, the driver agreed to give me a lift. Not to the police station or anything, but to my house. I made it back safely where I couldn't thank the driver enough. I immediately woke up my parents and told them. My dad wanted to know if I got his tag number, and then I felt like punching myself in the face. I failed to get the simplest information from the guy that would have allowed me to actually properly report him. All I knew was that he drove a faded blue '99 Ford Explorer. I made sure to give Alex a piece of my mind, and part of me always held a grudge against him ever since just for abandoning me at a party without telling me. I haven't seen him in 4 years now, however, and this was actually the first time I even thought about this incident for almost a year now. As time goes on, even the worst of memories may start to fade, but after writing this to share with the internet, it's once again fresh in my mind.
Wow.
Alright guys, we're gonna end the stream here. I hope you guys have enjoyed.
It was a good stream, to be honest.
And hope whoever's watching, hope you have enjoyed as well. And yeah, we should be making a video tomorrow. Yeah?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be making a video tomorrow. Probably looking at a Llama Arts video.
Maybe, I don't know, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoy the stream and see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.